It's recognized that the oil industry pays utmost attention to safety in its operations. That's why situations like this one rarely occur. When they do, however, the damage and consequences can usually be kept to a minimum, as we are about to see. Early one morning, on a residential street in a Canadian city, a tank truck full of gasoline overturned after being hit by an automobile, smashing into the front of a house. The steering system of the truck was damaged in the collision, and the driver was unable to control his vehicle. The police, fire department, municipal authorities, the oil company involved, and a number of special experts were soon on the scene, bringing the situation under control. They ensured the residents' safety and made every effort to limit property damage. A few hours later, the area was stabilized and the evacuated people were allowed to return to their homes. This presentation by the Canadian petroleum refining and distribution industry is designed to show you what steps to take in the event of a petroleum product spill, from the moment the accident occurs. So let's go back now and take a more detailed look at the accident we've just seen to find out what really took place that morning. The two tank trailers full of gasoline and the tractor pulling them were overturned as a result of a collision. As soon as the spilled product was identified and the overall situation assessed, the people in the area were quickly evacuated because of the serious fire and explosion potential. The area was also secured to keep out everyone but the team of experts. An explosimeter was used throughout the emergency to monitor the danger of explosion. An effective communication system was set up. Note that the firefighters sprayed the area with foam in order to reduce the fire hazard. However, the amount of foam used was limited, as foam contains a lot of water. Excessive amounts of water increases the potential to flush the product into the sewer. Sand was used to contain the spill and help keep the gasoline out of the sewer system. This carefully carried out series of actions brought the situation under control. These steps made the work of the crew who came to recover the spilled gasoline that much safer. Within hours, the local residents were able to return safely to their homes. Accidents involving petroleum products are rarely alike. It is therefore impossible to establish a single plan of action that would apply in all situations. Nevertheless, there are several general principles that do have a universal application. Above all, while an accident requires an immediate response, it's important to think things through before taking action. First, you have to assess the situation and gather the available facts. Then, you must set priorities protecting human life first, property second, and the environment third. Next, you have to decide exactly how to proceed, and then you carry out the plan. Since accidents are, by definition, unpredictable, each situation will determine how best to apply the following measures, sometimes with improvised means. It is very important to correctly identify the product. You must ensure the safety of human life by properly securing the area. As quickly as possible, the product flow should be cut off at the source, taking all possible safety precautions. Next, the spilled product should be contained. Only then can the product recovery begin. The tank truck is a factor in most petroleum product spills that occur on the road. Tank trucks that carry petroleum products all have similar design characteristics. Safety features ensure that when a tank is overturned, the contents will not leak out unless the tank is buckled, cracked, or punctured. Let's take a look at how a tank is built. A tank usually has several compartments, each with openings at the top and at the bottom. On the top, the covers and vents over each compartment are fitted to ensure a completely leak-proof seal. An internal valve at the bottom of each compartment prevents any accidental spills or leaks. As a further precaution, levers at the front, back, and middle of the tank allow all these valves to be simultaneously closed in an emergency. A hydraulic shut-off system is the one most commonly used by oil companies. Other systems are operated mechanically by cable or pneumatically by air. Underneath the tank, in the middle, is the biggest potential trouble spot, the loading and unloading manifold. These are designed in such a way that in the event of accidental breakage, only the contents of the lines will spill. When an external line spill occurs, it can be stopped by closing the one valve concerned. Consider the case of an accident right in the middle of a city during a delivery to a service station. A car accidentally runs into the truck and causes the decoupling of the unloading hose. A quick assessment of the situation reveals that the truck driver is injured and cannot stop the flow himself. The spill will quickly grow and become very dangerous since the product is gasoline. Gasoline is extremely volatile. Gasoline vapor is heavier than air. It will stay close to the ground and accumulate in such areas as basements, ditches, or drains. This is more of a problem under calm or low wind conditions. Any kind of spark or flame will cause the vapor to ignite or explode in all kinds of weather. Cigarettes must be immediately extinguished and car engines and electrical equipment turned off. Under no circumstances should you unplug electrical machinery, as this can create sparks. Instead, hit the main breaker to cut off the power to the whole service station. In this situation, protecting human lives means stopping the flow of gasoline as quickly as possible, which is why it's so important to know a tank truck's emergency safety features. Again, in the interest of public safety, the immediate area around the spill must be secured. This will protect people not only from potential burns in case of fire, but also from the gasoline vapor. A good communication system is another essential element to ensure a coordinated effort by those involved in dealing with the spill. Pay careful attention to sewer openings. Gasoline floats on water. If it gets into the sewer system, the water will spread the danger of explosion to the neighboring streets. For the same reason, you must be very careful to minimize the amount of water used in the spill area. In the moments immediately following a spill, earth, sand, gravel, or similar materials should be used to contain the gasoline in order to block the sewer opening. Here, for example, a sewer opening is being blocked. Use an aluminum shovel to avoid creating sparks. An explosimeter is required in assessing the danger of explosion in the areas affected by the vapor. It measures the percentage concentration of vapor in the air and alerts you to exactly how serious the danger is. In a semi-urban or rural area, gasoline spills are handled in a different manner, but the process of conducting a situation assessment and the priorities established remain the same. Make sure people are out of danger and then stop the source of the spill. When the police and firefighters arrive at the scene of an accident involving a tank truck, the truck's product identification placard is an important source of information. Standing well back from the danger area, they can find out exactly what has been spilled. The red diamond with a flame on it tells them that the liquid is flammable. The number 3 on the bottom means that the liquid gives off flammable and explosive vapors. This red diamond has a product identification number on it as well. In this case, 1203 indicates gasoline. Regulations governing the transportation of dangerous substances requires all carriers to have a detailed description of their load in the truck, called a manifest. If the tank is punctured, as in this example, stopping the source may not be so easy. If at all possible and provided the conditions are safe, construct a makeshift plug with a piece of wood and some cloth, for example. Small cracks can sometimes be filled by using a bar of soap. When gasoline spills into a ditch, steps must be taken to minimize damage to the environment. Dikes must be built to contain the spill using whatever materials and tools are available. The accident we've just described might easily have occurred near a small waterway, like a stream or water-filled ditch. Since gasoline will float on water, a spill of this kind can spread rapidly and affect even more of the environment. It is therefore extremely important to contain the spilled product by building a barrier in the form of a floating dike that holds back the gasoline on the surface while allowing the water to flow. The barrier can be made with branches, a piece of wood, or a snow fence plugged with grass or straw. In some situations, you can build a dike closing off the entire waterway, provided you leave an opening under the surface for the water to flow through. Gasoline evaporates quickly, even in very cold weather, and its vapor is as dangerous in winter as it is in summer. If the gasoline spills onto a frozen body of water, it can still penetrate the ice and spread under the surface, increasing the potential danger. To sum up, whenever a spill occurs, it is important to know what to do using whatever appropriate materials are available. Recovering the product and cleaning up the spill will be much easier and less expensive if the initial procedures were effectively carried out. The Quebec Petroleum Association and the other petroleum associations in Canada, along with the major oil companies and some service companies, have special equipment for recovering the spilled product. The recovery is always carried out in cooperation with the government authorities concerned. As we have just seen and heard, it is possible to considerably reduce the hazard following an accidental spill of petroleum product. Even in a major accident, the steps we have discussed can be applied, provided you use common sense. This information will help save lives and limit environment damage.